So welcome to your mat. All you need is your TheraBand, resistance band, whatever you want to call it. Do make sure, well, you don't have to make sure, but the longer ones, the 6-foot ones, they are nicer for the range of motion because it just allows you, if you've got longer levers or arms, to be able to just stretch it out without having it yank on you. So to start with, just start yourself in sits bones or wider. I'm going wider. I find my hips kind of like that wider setup position initially. You can determine that. And then just start that shifting of your weight. So all we're just trying to do is find that foundation of the foot to the floor. Find ourselves centered into our body. Try and get our mind out of everything else other than present here in for your movement. Think from pubic bone to belly button to rib cage. We're doing a gentle zipper. We're not weight loading into the core right now, so we just need really gentle, like 20% of its worth. And then we're just going to start with those little shoulder rolls. So I'm bringing it up, down, rolling it back. Forward, up, down, and back. Make sure you're not gripping. Don't overdo this. It's just a little range. And then go the other direction. Start your inhale nose, exhale mouth. Start to take an awareness into your body. And then leave everything, just kind of give it a little wiggle. And let's just do our first roll down with our hands on our quads. So roll it down, support yourself. If the back's a little tight, maybe you're more neutral. If you're able to tuck and get some flexion going, go ahead. Slowly peel up. That doesn't have to be all the way to the floor. Just find yourself tall. And let's go down again. Inhale, start to exhale. Maybe you go a little deeper. Maybe you have to widen your legs to do that. Slowly peel all the way up. We're going to bring that band up. Stretch it a little bit and allow it to gently go behind the shoulders. Watch, it's not one then the other. So equally down, and then I'm just going to fold my hands at the back, and then I'm pushing the palm away. I'm opening. It should be stretching my pec line, and then bring it all the way down. And on this one, if you're okay with no longer to have your hands on your quads, down you go a bit deeper. So stay here with your fists towards the floor. I'm still supporting my body. If I'm tight, I've got my hands on my quads, and I'm just going to bend and straighten a little bit. So I'm just kind of finding that range of motion. My head is at the very end. I am looking through my legs, so my head is actually in an inverted flexion position. Inhale, exhale, and then slowly peel up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lengthen, start to pull that band a little bit. So my legs are quite wide now. I'm going to push it to the back. I'm going to stay here with my palms turned to the back. I'm going to press away and bring it in. So it's just an extension of the shoulder behind us. Tendency will be to roll forward. Try and keep that neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and just move through the shoulder girdle. Again, watch as the arms come up. You don't shear and throw the headline forward either. Everything's staying into that nice neutral. Exhale up, inhale down. Now unfold the hands, bring it all the way through. Let's go all the way down again. So widen your stance if you need to. Hands on the quads, maybe hands on the floor. And now I'm going a bit deeper. So now I've brought it right down. And I'm going to do a little bit of spinning here. Going from my right to my left. If that is tight, up here. Hips not inviting, knees not inviting, up here. Still not a happy place, up here with your hands on your quads. Just listen to where you're going to go. Inhale, exhale. One more little breath there. And then let's peel it vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up. And just keep your hands in front and roll those shoulders. Just open those up. Give a little wiggle through the legs. We're going to find that band a little bit tighter. Find yourself in a squat position with the booty back, hands on the quads, a little bit of cat-cow with support. So I'm going to exhale, round my spine. Really think of tucking that tailbone right underneath, and then push the tailbone out and find yourself in neutral. Don't give me a big J-lo, just a little neutral. Bend the legs to get there. So we come up a little bit with an exhale to hollow, and then an inhale to go down. Exhale, hollow. Inhale and down. Two more. Exhale, round the spine, full flexion everywhere. Inhale, just neutral. And last time, exhale. And then stay in the neutral. Rock it back and forth. So you're just kind of moving back and forth. I'm not really relevating per se. I'm just shifting my weight. Now, if you're okay, get your arms about equal to that distance of the legs and bring that band forward. Watch when the band comes forward. This is hard on the back, so you want to watch that it doesn't cause you to forward flex. I'm still in my neutral, reaching with the arms. Not happening for you, hands on your quads. Inhale, exhale. Still working for you. Bring your arms equal to your ears. Pull the band apart a little bit. And I'm still rocking gently. Again, this puts pressure into the back because of the position of the arms. So hold that neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Freeze here. Open the band. Bring it forward. Open it. So I'm bringing it through from my chest line, shoulder height. I'm going to press and stand tall. So some little squats here as you pull the band open. Let's go for 4. Now peek at the knees. Make sure you're not collapsing one knee or the other. Last one. And hold down and pulse the arms and the legs. 5, 4. Pull the band. 3, 2, 1. Bring it tall. Bring the band up and pull it in front of your chest. So I'm right here in front. As I do that, I'm going to lift my heart. Bring it back to neutral. So it's small. Lift of the heart, bring it to neutral. Exhale, inhale. As you do this, I really want you to pull your elbows into your back pockets and think of drawing your shoulder blades down and away. Go ahead and pull and reach. And I am still lifting that heart as I pull. Go one more time, lift. Bring it all the way up, bring those arms down, roll those shoulders. Take it into an underhand grip, about as wide as your hips. Find yourself in sits bones, maybe a bit wider. And I just want you to gently hold and pull the band apart. So hold it loose enough. So maybe you're going to start with a little bit of a fold in the center so that when you pull, you can actually get some movement. Exhale, pull. So I don't want so much movement that your shoulder blades are squeezing. I want this so limited that it is infraspinatus and teres minor, your rotator cuff muscles waking up. Your elbows stay into your waistline. So if it's too big of a movement, you're going to miss those rotator cuff muscles and you're really going to fire into the rhomboids, which is lovely, but that's not what I'm looking for. We're just wanting to start to wake up those stabilizers of the rhomboids, or sorry, of the rotator cuffs. Now pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into center. Let's do it again. Make this small, guys. Feel your shoulder blades tuck into your back pockets and stay flat to your ribs. Bring it in. Beautiful. Now keep that position, relax off the grip, and let's add our rotation. Rotate. If your pelvis went, pull it back to the front, bring it to center. ASIS to me. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. We're going to add a flexion to it. Add your rotation. Reach this out like you're gifting and give a little bit of a flexion as you reach your arms out. Stack it to tall. Bring it back to center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, reach. Inhale, stack. Exhale, center, and release that out. Let's get a little bit of lateral. So widen your stance. Bring your arms up. We're going to start wide initially. I've got pretty wide arms, tails somewhat equal, and I'm just going to teeter-totter to one side. Pull a little lower with that top or the bottom arm, and send the top arm slicing through. I'm going to look to the floor. Nice big breath here. And I'm going to use the oblique, the stretched oblique side, to pull myself actively back up. And then I'm going to go down to the other side. Pull the bottom arm perpendicular to the top arm. Stretch that top arm. Breathe really big into your rib cage. And then use these muscles on the side to pull yourself up. Now go tighter with your stance if you're okay. Take it to the side again. This will be more aggressive. So if you don't like it, don't do it. Reach the arms. Take your bottom arm off. Stir the pot. Look to the floor. Breathe as big as you can. In theory, one lung breathing, unless you've got something wrong with one lung, you can't one lung breathe. It doesn't happen. Breathe nice and big. It just exaggerates the sensation of. Grab the bottom, pull that hand down a little bit, and then fold to the floor. Come around in the center. Stack it to tall. Give a few little wiggles. Let's do it again. Reach it. Other direction, pull the bottom arm so it's straight in line with the top arm. Slice that top arm, give a little pull, and then let go. Keep that active reaching top arm. Let your bottom arm ball and socket totally loose. Inhale, exhale as we stretch the intercostal muscles. Grab that band with the bottom hand, pull down on it a bit, actively reach the top arm, nice big breath. Rotate down towards the floor and then slowly come into center. Give a few little wiggles there, open that up. Let's just go ahead and toss that band. Open it so that your tails are pretty equal. And just place it so that it's towards the top of your mat, but you've got equal tails somewhat to grab. Make sure that's quite far to the front, and then you're coming to the back, so you don't want to walk on it yet with your hands. Reach, and let's just warm her up here a little bit more with some bigger mobility. Coming all the way down, hands supported or down to the floor. Walk it out in 4, 3, knees down on 2 and 1. Uncurl the toes, paddle out those feet. Get some little stimulation in your feet. Literally paddle them. Get some blood flow down there. And then release that. Spread out your fingers. Abs engaged. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Sternum drops. Drop down. Push away. So this is a lovely preparatory for anything involved in the shoulder. So we're letting our sternum bone drop down and we're pushing away. Let it drop down. Push away. One more. Now stay in the pushed away. Stay in the pushed away. Angry cat. Tuck your tailbone round your spine. Exhale. Hinge your hips back. This is the deepest hip knee flexion we've gotten yet. So really be careful. Round your spine like you're breathing into your back breath. And then come back up tall and angry. Go out of angry through neutral into your cow. You should have an extension without letting go of your abs. Go ahead and tuck your tailbone. Roll your spine. Big exhale. Inhale, sit back. Really try to tuck that tailbone, get some nice stretch into the lower back. Pull it all the way back to 4 point. And then through your neutral, into your cow, open that up. And then find your neutral. Curl your toes. And let's press back into the toes. So I'm just going to turn briefly. Watch again, you're not sickling out on the side of your ankles. Try and get your big toe underneath. Be mindful, bunions, arthritis, anything in the toes, that's going to be a little aggravating, so be careful. Doesn't mean we don't want to do it, we just don't want to aggravate. So you need to find that happy medium, because no movement's not going to work either. Now go ahead and stay pressing back, walk your hands back. If you're comfortable with it, put some pressure into that. If you see your ankles sort of sickling to the side, see if you can get your big toe underneath. If that really bothers you, bring your bum up so you don't have weight into the heel. If you're okay with it, stay there. Reach the arms actively. Roll your shoulders open and give me a little lift of your heart. Nice big breath here. 2 more. 1 more. And then come back into your 4 point stance, hands strong, and let's hit that first short plank one. So we've lifted the knees an inch. As you lift, watch your tailbone didn't tuck into that rounded spine. We're still in neutral here, so you're still standing your tailbone away. Inhale, exhale, we're just hanging out for 5. And 4, cycle your breath, push away with your arms so you're nice and powerful. 2 more, quads should be turning on. So you can either go down dog here, or you can go child's pose. You choose it. I'm going up for down dog. Grab hold of your mat and start pedaling out those feet. Notice how the shoulders like to just instantly wrap up around. I'm going to face the front here. We instantly kind of pull our shoulders around our ears. Shift your shoulders into your back pockets, then pedal. I shouldn't feel my shoulders are all wrapped up and condensed around my ears. I want to make space there. If you're okay with this, keep the feet still, heels pushed to the floor, sink into your shoulders. Now that may or may not happen. If you're a little tight in the back and the hamstring, bend the knees and lift the heels off. Inhale, exhale. Notice that you tend to roll out to the baby toe. See if you can put a bit more weight into your big toe as you sink into this nasty. And then start that little poodle wag from left to right. You might, depending on the shoulders, need to come out of your shoulders here to get the poodle wag. So instead of sitting deep into the stretch, I'm coming out so I can find my wiggling of my spine a bit. If you're okay, let that booty drop right off towards one side, really testing the waters on your stabilization here. And then take it slowly off to the other side. So we're going super slow here. You might need to reset the feet with a little paw, right? You might have to just sort of reset by lifting the foot off and putting it back into place. And then rise up on the balls of the feet, bring those knees down, uncurl the toes, come down to your elbows and sink back, wide knees onto my elbows, just rounding out. From here, this is a great one for getting into the inner thigh, the groin a little bit. So I'm going to widen my knees quite wide on my mat. Take the moment to widen them out so I'm in a good lateral rotation. Now, if I'm tight, this might be where I go, just to my hands. If I'm okay, maybe I can inchworm down to my elbows. This is where I start to feel, if my legs are too wide, my hips kick in. So the minute I get that sensation, I'm going to come out, pull in a little closer with my lateral rotation, maybe not drop as deep. If you can comfortably, without overstretching, go right down with your head to your hands. Go right ahead. Edge yourself in. I'm shifting my weight from my left side to my right side. Just getting a little opener here. Now I'm starting to put my hands down and I'm shifting bigger. I'm shifting bigger. I'm going to turn and face you. So I'm wide and I'm shifting. Now, if this is tight, maybe I've brought my butt up off my feet. Maybe I can stay down there. Inhale, exhale. And then let's bring ourselves back into our 4-point stance, nice and strong. Curl your toes. We're going to go pouncing cat. So I'm going to reach my hands what feels too far forward. Find either neutral or slightly supported. And I'm going to pull forward so I'm in a longer plank position. So plank, yeah, that's it. And press back. So it'd be like push-up 2 position, forward and backwards. Now, if that's working for me, you know we're coming up, right? So we're going to pounce. The knees are coming up, and they can go down as I go back, or they can stay up the whole time, and I hover. This is what we call our little pouncing cat. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you're nice and strong. My hands are slipping today. Let's go 2 more. And go 1. Now stay in your plank nice and strong. Can either be slightly supported or neutral, but it's our long plank position. Holding 5, 4, stack your weight over your shoulders and over your toes. 3, 2, 1, push your hips back. You're going to take your left leg and you're going to drive it wide of your hand. Wide of your hand. Yep. Drop your knee down. And rotate that open. Let's get a big stretch here. Nice big breath here. Bring that hand back down, nice and strong. Curl the toe under. Push up. Bring that leg back around. Let's do the other leg. Drive it forward to the outside of your hand. Drop the knee. Open it up. I've also uncurled the toes here briefly. You don't have to, but you can if you'd like to. Big breath. Bring that hand down. You've got to engage those toes in the back again. When you lift up, think of your core and your hip flexor connecting to come up. Lift the booty slightly to then bring the leg around. It'll make it easier. So one more time. Hip comes up a little bit as you drive the leg. Then the hip goes down, add your rotation. Hand comes down. You've got to engage the hip flexor and the core to lift to allow you to get that leg to come around. Other side, pull it through. Down you go. Nice big gecko, open it. Bring it down, lift the hips. Then bring that leg around. Paddle out your down dog. Walk your feet into your hands or your hands into your feet, whatever feels good. You're about center of your mat. Drag it in and slowly peel it up. Excuse me, sorry, tickle going. Roll those shoulders, and I'm just going to walk to the front of my mat and stand strong on my band. From here, squat down and just grab 2 tails. So make sure it's not just on your toes. I'm more of ball of foot. It's not actually wrapped around my toes at all. My toes are forward of the band, and I'm just going to grab the tail ends. And then I'm just going to wrap it once so I've got some resistance. From here, I'm shoulder width distance. So once it's underneath my feet, I can kind of stand up and get some strength into that band. And from here, I'm going to do a little tricep kickback. So I'm going to bring my elbows up, bend the knees, hinge the hips back, and push into the elbows. Press and press. So I'm in a squat, pushing away. Let's go 5 and 4. Find those tries. 3, 2, and 1. Now bring it to the front. Unwrap. If you've got a short band, you're really going to have to unwrap. And then I'm going to take my elbows inside and then press up with my legs. So I'm just going to turn to the front so you can see that. So I'm holding my palms. I'm getting my elbows tucked inside and then opening them. So I've got that press. Now, most of us won't have bands of the length you can push to the sky, so we're just going to use this resistance against your hips. So if you want it tighter, put the band tighter, right? Wrap it a little tighter around your hands. Let's go 4 more. 4. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Look at those knees. Make sure they're not knocking in. 2 more. And 1. Stay in the down. Unwrap. From the unwrap, I'm going to leave my left leg in. Relax your straps. Right leg comes out. I'm going to step it back and hit it into warrior. Yeah. So I'm now in my warrior. Hand in the front of the same leg that's forward. I'm going to rest that. This hand I'm going to wrap as tight as I'd like. So I'm going to go much lower on it and start a rowing action. So deepen into your leg. So I'm going to go down and up. Get that front knee turning out. Don't just lean with your body, Kylie. Yeah, bend the legs. So go in and push away. In and push away. When you're ready, start that rotation by pulling this arm right into your chest and then rotate it open, elbows high, elbows high. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 4, 3, last 2. Now stay in the pushed away with the elbow up, slight bend in the front knee, rotate, center, rotate, center. 5, 4, just the rib cage mobility. 3, stabilization of the shoulder. 2, front knee slightly bent. 1, bring it back, undo that, release that. Turn your back leg back into a lunging position and then just step forward. Now that band's a little bit crooked, so you just need to sort of open it. Step your other foot in. Get your tails equal on both sides. As soon as you're ready, you'll step off with the other leg. It's a bit of a game to it. Take the time to find yourself in your nice warrior. Hand equal to the leg that's in front is rested. If the knee's medially rotating in, push it out and start that just down and up. Down and up. Bend into it, push away. Then you can decide the tension of that front arm and add your rotation with your row. If you want more tension, you just grab a little higher up on the band. Down and up. So a little, it's not a cheat. Giving me more support is keeping this hand on my quad as I'm moving. Harder, I would dangle it to the side, which takes the balance and challenges it a little bit more, but it also puts the core weight fully into the leg versus some of the weight going into your upper torso because I'm supporting my hand there. They're both fine. They're both fine. Stay in the slight up, not fully, but slight up, and just add the rotation. 3 more, and 2, just that rotation, guys, against resistance. 1, bring it all the way back, relax, don't toss it off, relax it off, rotate, I didn't mean to do that, and then step that forward. Go ahead and bring that band into your hands, give a little wiggle, start with a nice wide position, equal tails, and we're just going to sit down and roll and then sit up on our tailbone. So come down, nice and deep. If you don't like this little roll, just grab a seat. Beautiful. Put your heels not quite as wide as the mat, a little bit more narrow. Excuse me. And then find your equal tails. Put that loosely around. Don't tighten it. Put it loosely around, because once it's there, we're then going to widen the legs a little bit, causing the band to be tight. So if you start it tight and then you widen your legs, it's going to be ridiculously tight. If you cannot sit up into your sits bones in neutral spine, neutral pelvis, please sit on a block. People are stubborn about this. They don't want to sit on the block. Most people with hamstrings that are tight or tight lower backs, they need a block. It just is what it is. So now I'm going to let, without my knees and my hips moving, my toes through my ankle joint swing in and then push out. So my ankle joint is doing windshield washers. Not my knees, not my hips. Pelvis, neutral spine, neutral pelvis. I'm sitting tall and I'm just pushing out and I'm working those nice peroneals, little muscles coming up the side of the leg, which actually help us for balance. So this is massively important. Push out, pull in. So it's sort of an eversion, inversion kind of movement. Some people call it pronation, supination. It's a real fine line between those four definitions. Just windshield washer your foot and don't worry about it. Let's go 2 more and 1. Now I don't want you to keep it pushed all the way out, but I also don't want you to let it swing it in. I want you to find a happy medium. If you're flexing your toes aggressively towards you, relax them. You see how I'm flexing? I'm going to relax those a little bit. So my tibialis anterior is turned on, but not too aggressive. And then I'm going to grab my band. I'm going to wrap once. I'm going to start a nice row. Nice big row. So again, if that's not tight enough, lean forward, grab a little tighter, and then add your row. So I want that to be tight enough that you can now feel your rhomboids squeeze between your shoulder blades, your rhomboid muscles. Squeeze and pull. If I looked at my feet, my toes would be relaxed, reaching to the sky. And my toes would be facing straight up to the sky versus folded in or out. When you get back here, hold for a moment. If you feel yourself sitting backwards, get up on the block or sit tall, pulse, pulse. Watch you're not pulling up here with your shoulders. Down and away, squeeze, squeeze. Let's go 4. That's kicking in too much in the hip flexors and the hamstrings. Bend your knees. 3, 2, 1, reach it off. So we're going to unfold that. Take your left hand, cross your straps, but put your left strap underneath. Left strap went underneath and it tagged to your leg. Gently, not a big resistance. Right strap on top, wrap it. And now I just want you to pull it in again. So as you pull it in, this foot will want to fold in. I'm going to keep it active so I feel that glute as I row, and then I'm going to add my rotation to it. Remember, I can have my knees bent. Rotate, come through. Cut the room in half with your vision. Rotate with your thoracic. Watch you're not sitting back as you rotate. Go around with the spinal rotation. Go 3 more. Keep your feet active. 2 more. Zipper up that core gently. 1. Now pull that fist into the lower part of your hip or rib. So I should see your elbow just behind your back here. See how my elbow's peeking? And then I'm going to look towards the back. And now keeping that elbow anchored, not moving it, I'm going to move my ribs for rotation. 5. It might be small. 4. Pull your other shoulder down. 3, 2, 1, bring it back. That gets nasty fast. Unfold those, let your legs come in, shake out that outside. So you did a lot of work stabilizing here through that whole line. Give it a little shake. Open it back up. Cross which hand is on top. One hand dangles, the other hand moves. Wrap it and just start the row without rotation. Again, if I pull up towards my chest, I will do an upper trap pull, right? I want to pull down so my middle and lower traps are stabilizing my shoulders away from my ears. And then I need to take awareness into the non-moving arm and still find a little flirt of active pressure. Once I have that, I'm going to add my rotation. Push out on the feet a little bit so you're active through your legs in your stabilization of the lower half. Bend the knees if that's getting a little too deep. And exhale. Inhale. Cut the room in half with your vision. Avoid sitting backwards. Now pull that hand into the lower part of your ribs, right down by your hip. Drop this shoulder, activate the other shoulder, rotate. rotate, just the rotation. So you don't de-rotate very much. You're staying in a slight rotation and giving me more and more. Let's go 4, 3, 2, leg straight is more aggressive. 1, bring it all the way out. Paddle those feet out, take that band off for a moment. And then give me a little diamond rollback position. So my heels are a good 5-6 fists away from my pubic bone. I'm going to grab behind. I'm going to scoop off my sits bones. Don't lose your chin in your chest. Hollow your abdomen. Pull it forward. Wiggle out of that insulation a little bit. So let me reset this microphone. I feel like I'm eating it today. And then start at your tailbone. Peel to tall. Go again, scoop, little diamond roll back. This is a preparatory, it just feels good. Inhale, pull yourself forward, wiggle. Try and get your lumbar spine vertical to the earth along in line with your sacrum. And then round your thoracic and your cervical forward. And then peel forward up. One more time, scoop as you go back, hollow, don't lose your chin in your chest. Take your hands in between your legs, pull your legs in a little closer, wrap your hands if you're able to, and now fold forward. So if you can't get those arms through the legs and around the feet, just reach forward. Imagine my hands are on your ASIS, pulling your hips towards the back of the room while you pull your thoracic and cervical towards the front of the room, and breathe as big as you physically can into your ribs. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Start at your tailbone, peel that to tall. Reach the legs out a little bit, scoot yourself forward. If you know you need a headrest, you can grab it. Grab behind those legs, and I'm going to bring the legs up with me as I roll down, settle the feet down, and then I'm going into some big windshield washers here, you guys. I like my hands above the head. It's up to you. If it feels better with your hands down by your side, that's good too. I am going into some 90-90s. So my knees are not going over together equally. They're spread out, and I'm dropping one knee down. And as I do that, I'm lifting my hip. So I'm getting a 90-90 at the same time I'm getting my rotation. And then we are going to go a little deeper into the rotational stretch before we go into a little bit of shoulder bridge and toe tap. So bring yourself back into your neutral. Stretch out one leg, doesn't matter. I'm stretching out my right, my left is coming into the air. My right hand is going on the outside of my left knee, and over I go, looking for that lower back stretch. What will happen is we'll pull the hip up towards the rib. I want you to push that away to make space for your QL to exist. Again, the bigger the breath that you pull in here without zippering up the abs too much, the more stretch you'll get. See if you can relax your bottom butt cheek. There'll be a tendency to clench that little baby. Let it go. Couple big breaths. If you need to hold this longer, do so. Otherwise, slowly come out. You're going to be a bit crooked, so reset. I'm going to stretch out my left, bring up my right, left hand on right knee, over I go. Looking the opposite direction. Tendency will be to pull that hip up towards your rib. Try and push the hip away from your rib. That makes space for my little QL, which exists in this little pocket right here, to have some space to breathe. And then as I increase my inhale, exhale, I will get more stretch into that lower part of the spine. One more big breath. And then roll it back to center. So we're going to do single leg circles, modified New York style. Ron Fletcher. Believe it or not, this is a trademarked movement of his, so I'll acknowledge him. I'm getting tails on both sides. I'm going to keep my knees bent to start with. Make sure hip, hip, rib, rib is square here. This is actually super important. What will happen is we'll ignore the stabilization of the pelvis to try and get the hamstring stretch. The butt will lift and we'll hike a hip. So your priority here is not doing that. So although I'm bringing the leg up to 90 degrees to the sky, that's flexibility I have. If you don't, your foot's going to be out here more than it is out here. That is really key on one leg circles. I'm going to bend the knee. If you have no issues with feet cramping, you can put a pointed toe into that. That is not going to happen in my foot. So I'm going to go into a bit more of the arch ball of foot. From here, my knee is slightly bent initially. My bottom leg is bent. I have a neutral spine. So if this is causing a big stretch, I'll need to bend that knee more or lower it. I'm going to roll up a little bit, grab my band. I like to wrap. It's up to you. And I'm just going to roll and then drop my elbows bent, anchored to the floor. Anchored. All right? If you're okay, straighten out your base leg, flex your foot like you're standing on it. From here, I'm going to do my circles. I'm going to start really small. So as I start this little circle, they're slow. I'm going to inhale and I exhale. My priority is ASIS to ASIS staying in a straight line. So I can start to get bigger on my circle as long as I don't move my pelvis. What I don't want to do is move the arms. I want the band as I circle to support my joint, which means I've reached up quite far, pulled down so that my foot actually and my leg has support as I circle it. Beautiful. So I can keep my pelvis still here, or I can turn it into full mobility. And I'll show you what that looks like. So as my leg comes up and over, I'm going to rotate my pelvis. I'm going to bring it around, come back to square, and then open it to the side. So I'm going over into rotation, like that 4 stretch, and then bring it around. Keep your pelvis neutral, over, and then bring it around. Switch directions. Open the leg off to the side. Freeze here. Notice if the opposite hip popped. I want to pull that down actively. Then I'm going to reach it down. I'm going to roll over and bring myself back to square. So careful on the range of motion of that leg in the socket if you're shifting your pelvis. Circle, come around. If you like the movement that kept the pelvis still, you could choose that. Bend the knee, sneak that out. Reset, make sure your hips are square. Take that either pointed toe, I'm going ball of foot, otherwise I'll cramp in my toes. If you're a dancer and you like that pointed toe, go for it. Tails are pretty equal. I'm going to square up my pelvis because the leg in the air is going to hike. Reach up, so I'm rolling up to grab quite tight. And then I'm just going to hold that tight and anchor my elbows down. So right now that foot's really getting, and that hip's getting some nice support. If my back's okay, I'm going to straighten out my standing leg. And then I'm going to start mini little circles. Maybe I'll do about 4 or 5. So this hip is my unhappy hip. And it does not like to come over midline. So I'm getting close to midline and I'm feeling grippy. So that's where I'm going to listen, and I'm just going to decrease that range of motion. So if you notice, I was doing it up here. I've decreased my range of motion in my hip, and I'm doing it now reaching away for the wall. Switch directions. Listen to grippiness. We're not working through grippiness. We're trying to find where the circle feels smooth. Start to increase it if that is in your hips. From here, I'm going to add my rotation. So I'm going to go over my midline, let my body rotate, pull that back to center, and then open to the other side. So I'm crossing midline, I'm rolling. And then I'm bringing my hip back and I'm staying square. If you don't like that, stay with the circle with your pelvis down. My pelvis is lifting, going into rotation. So Kylie, just FYI, this is in tier 4 and 5. You won't see it in the book, right? One leg circle in the book you've got, pelvis doesn't move. So I'm going over, reversing my direction, pull the hips square and circle. Over you go. Pull the hip circles. We're working on some hip mobility today, you guys. Just freeing things up, but we're using resistance, so you have to stay in the muscle. Bring it to center and bend to release that out. Beautiful. Give a little wiggle there. Square yourself up, and let's go into our toe taps. So I'm going to hold nice and strong. I'm just going to start to open that across my chest. Open and close. I'm going to find a slightly supported spine, pelvis. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. My shins are parallel either to the sky or to the floor. I have a little bit of space between my legs, and then I'm going to toe tap one and bring it up, and then toe tap the other. Priority, no movement in your pelvis, no movement in your spine. If this feels good, you can start to straighten that leg out. Not having it, don't do it. Still feels good, I could return to a straight leg and go lower lift, single leg. So it's a unilateral. Watch you're not tighting the hips. Choose where you want to go. If this starts to feel good, take that pulling of the strap a little higher up. Maybe a little higher up, so watch your shoulder stabilization. Maybe a little bit. Now, it's a small range if it's above my head. It's a small range. Watch the ribs aren't popping. Open and close. Let's go for 4. Core's not moving. 3. Could I do this in neutral if I had the strength in my pelvis? If I had the strength in my pelvis and my core? Yes, absolutely. One more time. Bring everything back to reaching to the sky. Bend the knees. Now we're going to do arms going over the head. Don't let the ribs pop. Arms coming back to your knees. Over the head. So I've got a small little bit of tension, but I'm not really death gripping and pulling hard as I pull my arms apart. And then I'm going to double toe tap down. 2, 3. Don't let your ribs change. Up. 2, 3, 4. If that feels good, I can start to straighten my legs. Maybe they won't straighten all the way. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll straighten more to the sky. It's a little bit easier versus straightening straight out parallel to the floor. The lower you go, the farther you go, the more you load your spine. So right here, my spine is loaded with a lot of body weight. And then I'm bringing it back. So where my arms and legs go is just shits and giggles to put more pressure into the weight load on the core. That's it. That's all we're doing with those, right? Exhale out. So you choose where you go. Inhale home. Don't let your spine change positions. One more time, nice and strong. Slowly draw that up. Knee fold one, knee fold the other. Rest that band over your hips. Little knee sway. We're going to go into shoulder bridge. And then we're going to go over onto a little bit of mermaid and then to the belly for some extension. So find your feet nice and strong. Don't try and tuck them right into your bum. All right? We don't want this really close sensation. We do want them at least a hand distance from your butt. And then from here, we're going to either articulate or come up neutral. You can decide. I'm going to articulate. So scoop and hip roll up. Tuck your chin, and if you have a headrest, please get rid of it. And then roll it back down, right out through into your neutral. So squish the grape if you're doing hip rolls, and then extend. Watch right here. Overextension, not ideal on the back, so I want to come down and make sure that the glutes are involved. If I go too high, the glutes are no longer involved. Keep going with this. What I want you to focus on, and people kind of forget about this because we're focusing glutes and hamstrings. Think of pressure between your big toe, second toe, third toe, right here. Put pressure down here. Have your baby toe on, but don't roll or sickle out to the baby toe. Get pressure into the foot. Keep the foot engaged. As the foot engages, the heel engages, the calf engages, the glutes and the hamstrings engage. And then you'll find that active press. You won't miss the booty. Arms can reach up, holding straight into the air. They can go slightly over, wherever you want to hold, but they don't rest. Now go ahead and stay here. Stay with the glutes lifted. You could be high bridge, middle bridge, low bridge, wherever you feel comfortable. Lift your heels. Lower your heels. As you lift your heels, same thing. Big toe, second toe, third toe. Don't roll out on the baby toe completely. Don't sickle those ankles. Go 2 more. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. Now we're going to start our marching. So our shoulder bridge 2. If I keep my heels lifted the whole time, this will be much harder. So I could choose that. So I'm going to keep my heels lifted. I'm going to lift one leg and watch I haven't moved my pelvis. And then lower the leg with control. And then lift the other leg. And lower. If you notice a lot of shifting in your pelvis, I'd like you to come back to flat foot. Let's go and lift and lower. And lift. And lower. One more time on each. So this is my shoulder bridge 2, but I've not modified, I've intensified by lifting those nasty heels and lifting the arms. Stay with both feet down, lower the heels, Peel the spine down briefly, bring the arms down briefly. Now we're gonna go to marching, but we're gonna keep one leg up. So shoulder bridge 3, roll it up, freeze there, turn on your glutes, reach the arms if you want it harder, even harder, arms above your head. I'm gonna keep my heels down. I'm gonna lift my leg into tabletop. Square up your hips. I'm gonna toe tap up and down on one leg. Working for me, I'm gonna extend the leg and reach it. Still working for me, I'm gonna take that band briefly and pop it around that foot. I'm gonna anchor my arms down, and now I'm working my scapular stabilization. At the same time, I'm mobilizing the leg. That band has to be at its full length. So if you don't have a 6-footer, this one's going to be difficult. Arms are straight out in iron cross, stabilizing the scapula down and away. You're pushing that one hip up to the sky, squeezing that ass cheek as you lower, lift, shoulder bridge 3. Go 2 more, and up, and 1. Now keep the leg either reaching to the sky or parallel to the other quad. Parallel to the other quad is harder. And squeeze your bum. Squeeze. Squeeze. Don't hip thrust. Squeeze your ass cheek. 5, 4, on and off. 3, 2. Now hold the ass cheek squeezing on for 5, isometric. 4, squeeze it. 3, 2, 1, and down she goes. Release that out. Inhale, exhale. We have that same movement on the other side. So that's all shoulder bridge 3 with shits and giggles added to it, right? So we didn't start with the band in place. Don't go there yet. I know the tendency is like, woohoo, I'm going right to that band. Stepping stones. Left and right are not made equal. Let's find this properly first. Roll it up. Now go ahead and just go to the toe tap. So what I'm doing here is feeling rib, rib, hip, hip square. So when I bring that leg off, I don't want to feel myself drop, twist, or hinge. Find that first. Working for me, I'm going to straighten the leg and go up and down. Same thing, no changing through my pelvis and my hips. Everything is staying the same. Happening, happy with it, down I go. Place that band, you can go pointed toe. Again, I cramp too much, so I don't. And then I'm going to take it at the extreme ends of my band, push that and anchor it, and then up I go. Squeeze into the glute of the foot on the floor. Anchor that foot. So we talked about big toe, second toe. We talked about the heel. Everything active. As the leg goes down, it's through hip extension, not your pelvis extending. As the legs come up, it's through hip flexion, not pelvis flexion. Pelvis isn't moving, hip is mobilizing in the socket. Push the hip to the sky. 5, use that glute. And 4, breathing. Last 3, shoulders into your back pockets. Now keep that leg reaching either to the sky or down to the other leg parallel. Squeeze the butt cheek, squeeze. Lift lower, it's small. 5, squeeze the glute on. 4, 3, 2. Now hold an isometric, squeeze that ass cheek. Push your foot solid into the floor. 5, 4, push into that foot, lift your hips. 3, squeeze it. 2, 1, home. Lovely. Bring that off. Let that have a little sway. Let the knees roll to one side, let them roll to the other. Take that band, just put it in front of you. Reach one arm actively above your head, reach the other leg actively. Use your hand and let's press that up into a mermaid. Beautiful. Drop this hip down and up. So I'm going to sink and lift. This foot, if it's out here, is going to be really awkward and you're going to feel pinching. This foot has to come in tight. If the knee doesn't invite it, straighten the leg and go up and down this way. That's okay, right? That's perfectly fine. If this feels good, I'm going to go bigger. This hand is going to become active. I'm going to lift this hip. Maybe I'll lift the whole pelvis. Maybe I can reach and I'm opening that whole line and I'm bringing it down. And lift and down. I just got a few little cracks and pops. Let's go 2 more. And on the last one, let's stay lifted. Open up that hip flexor. Reach that arm actively. I'm looking towards my backhand. 4 on the ground. 3, 2, 1. Slowly let that come down. And we're going to do a little bit of mermaid here just to warm up that extension. I'm going to rotate. Hands go flat. My booty is lifted off slightly. All good. If I'm comfortable, hand goes into the lower back. If I'm still comfortable, this arm actively reaches. It's not a forward flexion to come down. I'm bending the elbow, putting lots of weight into the back hand, and I'm hinging. So I'm keeping myself slightly rotated and hinged. I should feel my tricep of my back hand. Working for you, this hand goes into the small of the back. Still working for you, it actively reaches forward, which is heavier, it is harder. I'm going to extend my back leg out as I lengthen. Maybe, maybe not, up to you. Let's go 4 more. So you're twisted and then lengthened. You won't really be extended, but you are lengthened. Let's go 2 more. Lift. And last one. Lift all the way up. Tuck that foot in tight. Sink that hip. And laterally flex to the opposite side. Drop this shoulder down. Rotate down to that. So I'm definitely rounded and slouching here a little bit. That's what my hips have to do. And then slowly come out. All we're going to do is reset the legs. Swing them around to reset them. Settle into this first, right? So if the hip's not having it, the knee's not having it, the leg goes out, and you just sort of move this way. For me, it's still the same front hip. You'll notice when I sit back, my knee pops up because this hip does not like that big open position. So just listen to anything that's going on in your bodies. Everyone will have very different sensations. When it feels good, lift the hip a little bit. See how the back's feeling about that lift. If it feels okay, maybe you can go a little bigger and you can extend a bit. Start your inhales, exhales. If it feels good, you can get quite big in this movement. I'm going to hold back on this one. If this side feels good for you, go for it. So for me, I'm not getting a big hip extension here. It's not a happy place today. Inhale, exhale, on or whatever's going on in your body, guys. Last one, we're going to stay in the extension that's working for you. I'm looking towards my backhand on the floor. 3, 2, abs are zippered. 1, gently come out of that. And now I'm going to rotate into the spinal movement. As I rotate, this hip will lift. I'll rotate it around. When I go down, if I don't lift my back hip, I will round the spine. I want to have this more neutral position. So I'm going to activate this back glute in turnout to lift as I go down. Both hands can still stay down. One hand into the small of the back. Or a little harder, that front arm is reaching. Sorry, you guys, I got a tickle going. 4 more, lengthen up. And 3, right here. You can extend the leg. Please watch you're not rounding. I'm staying lengthened. Weight is in my tricep. 2 more. And last one, come all the way up. Tuck the foot into the bum or extend it out. Drop that hip, settle into it slowly, and then laterally flex the opposite direction. Feel that pull and stretch. Remember, that's not comfortable. This leg could be straight. Both legs could be straight if you need to. And then rotate down to the floor. Comfortable's not a word my hip feels in here. Bring it up, so just listen to where you need to go, you guys. Come all the way out. We need some extension. So go ahead and bring yourself onto your belly. We're going to start with Superman, which is not an extension exercise. It's just finding neutral. So I'm going to fold my hands into my forehead initially and just wiggle my booty from left to right. I'm actually going to start with a floppy first. So my heels come into my bum. I've got a small lateral rotation. I'm going to actively reach. And then going to get rid of the active reach and take the energy out of my legs. Nothing happening there. Booty loose, belly loose. Hands just equal to the sides of your body. And without contracting the abdominals, Just see where that movement's going to go into the spine today. The butt will squeeze, the abs will pull in to protect the lower back, which is natural. It's going to want to do that. But we actually want to let this movement occur. It's just a little bit of a reset for the flexion that we played with. You want to let the spine just sort of go, all right, you're allowed to go this direction as well. We're really good at letting the spine go into flexion. We're not so good at letting the spine go into extension. The head doesn't have to be very high. I'm not really worried about your shoulders up around your ears yet. Now stay connected, and on this one I want you to bring your legs back into parallel, open as comfortable. So you no longer have that turnout. The side of the knee isn't facing the floor, the top of the knee is facing the floor, the legs are reaching, top of the foot is reaching away. Hands reach long, shoulders droop, and just turn a cheek. Traditionally this isn't done with the turn of cheek, it's done with the nose tucked in. I find a lot of people prefer the turn of cheek to set up. Abs gently pulling up and in. Actively energize the glutes and the legs just a little bit. Turn the nose so it just looks to the floor. So my nose is actually touching the floor. Pull your shoulder blades so they're equal to your ears. Reach the palms active, and then that's it. Maybe I get a little more energy into my legs and I just lift the foot ever so slightly off with straight leg. Inhale, keep it here. Turn your ear and let everything relax down but your abs. Everything but your abs. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, little baby Superman. It's not an extension. It's just a lengthening sensation against gravity. And then release, turn the cheek the other way. Exhale, baby little movement to the front. And then rotate down, release it. Last one, don't let those abs go though. Right, my abs are turned on the whole time. Stay here in your Superman. So let's play with this. I'm going to bring my hands into swan position, flirt them down, and lift my thoracic and cervical and lumbar into a bit more of an extension now, not the head too far. Then from there, I'm going to reach back with those arms actively. I'm going to actively reach the legs and turn my hips out a little bit. I'm going to lift and lower through the arms. Now, if this is feeling good and you've got your band close, and I forgot to cue the band, but if you've got the band close, grab it. Made that awkward for everyone, sorry. Put a little bit of pressure pushing out and lift and lower. Just the arms, everything else is staying in a beautiful extension. Except for the pelvis. It is in neutral. It is pulling up and in. We're not archy backing, not the lower back. We're lengthened through the upper, and the shoulders now are moving in extension with a little bit of push out to the side. Now, if you're okay, lower lift the legs with the arms. You are for sure in lateral rotation of the hip socket at this point in time. Let's go 3 more. And 2. Hold everything, lengthening away. Shoulders into your back pocket. See if you can give me a little more extension through thoracic, cervical, and lumbar. Holding for 5. Straighten those knees actively. That might drop the legs lower. That's okay. 3, 2. Belly button into spine, but not too aggressive. And release. Lovely. Push back into your child's pose. Or sit back into neutral, whatever feels natural for you to recover. Couple little inhales, exhales, and then we're going to go into a little bit of thread the needle just to add that little rotation at the end to stretch it out. So when you're good, let's find our 4-point stance. I kind of do a bit of a hack on this one. I go wider than what would be shoulder width distance. I turn this hand in and bring it closer to my leg. And that way, when I thread the needle, I can actually lean a bit more to this side and tuck my shoulder underneath past midline. And then roll away from that as I look to the sky. Feels good? I link that hand behind my back. Try and keep your knees down. Big breaths. Now, if I can't get my shoulder down, my head is not taking the support, which means I do not lift that top arm. Bring the hand down with power. Press out of that slowly. Again, I'm internally rotating my hand. This is not where I normally go with my shoulder. I am on this. It is out farther and in close to my knee, so I can really get this tuck sensation. And then I'm going to roll into that. Once I've got it, I try and lengthen out my neck, but look down to my hip and then rotate open. Oof. Couple really big breaths. My palm is facing the sky, the hand on the floor, palm is open to the sky. Inhale, exhale. It's almost as if you're trying to do a shoulder roll underneath that arm that's reaching. Bring the hand back down actively. Bring it all the way out. Hands nice and strong. Curl those toes. Lift. Find your down dog. Shoulders away from the ears. Pedal it out a bit. And then walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands. We're going to do a little ragdoll here. For my ragdoll, I'm bringing my elbows to my knees so I'm supported. Instead of looking to the floor, I'm going to look through towards my pubic bone so my head is lengthened and inverted. Big breaths. One more. And then slowly bend the knees. Articulate vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Readjust all your clothing that has gone everywhere. And then big breath up. Roll those shoulders. Give a few little wiggles. Inhale to the sky. Hands down center heart. And let's reverse it. Open it. Bring it all the way around. And we are done.